guys. Welcome once again to another session, another podcast session with your host Dario Nichols and Kenneth Franklin. Channel Mr. Inspires, and we will be going through. We're going to be covering. Get to what we're going to cover in a second. But as you guys play about this video, you're probably going to hear like some audio in the background, and some additional things that we're working on, because it's a bit challenging sometimes to get the audio that we really want and things like that, because where we come from, sometimes it can be really expensive to get these kind of equipment. So for now, we're just going through a process of organize everything, and hopefully soon we'll get everything up and running. So just be patient with us, guys, and if you like what you hear on here, then know that better is coming, because that's the aim that we're trying to bring here with this podcast. Not trying to just do things same old way, but always looking for new ways to improve. So if you don't like what you're hearing, just let us know also, and just be mindful that we're working on it on our end too. So right, I want to say, guys, thank you very much for the 6 people who stopped by and actually watched the video, the first video we did, where we covered the album from Lecrae, Gravity. We still have to do Trick Please album. We also have to, what did we have to do album though? Name is not coming back to me. Okay, who was it that we had to do with the next album?
Animino Heroes for Sale.
Right, that's true. Animino Heroes for Sale, yeah. So we gotta do those videos. Try to do them before this month is out. At least one of them. So it won't be a case where we keep you all waiting who are actually interested in hearing what we had to say on those given albums. So yeah, that's there. Like I said, when we do this podcast, I don't want to just make it be the same thing all the time, and have to stick to a particular format. So I think like the best conversation you're probably going to get from us here is when we just talk about things that affect us in life, and things that concern us, and just do that straight up talk. So you can feel free to talk about things that bother yourself also as you go through various themes. So just try to keep it as simple as possible, and make sure you guys get something out of it that you can actually appreciate at the end of the day. And once again, appreciate the open-mindedness. So that is my full introduction. I was supposed to put up some of this here on my blog, but I haven't gone back to it. Been very busy with school and what's not, but I'll try to see if I can put some of these videos over on my blog too. If you aren't on YouTube, or not on YouTube, but you don't actually want to watch it on YouTube, you want to set the blog yourself, I'll try to get some things up. So that's my introduction. That's all for Kenneth. I don't know if you have anything to say before we get into what we're going to talk about today.
We're trying to perfect our systems in terms of looking for the right programs, the right audio levels. Everything still is kind of in a testing stage right now, so be sure to leave your comments, suggestions about programs we could use, about different mics we could invest in, low-end mics that we could, not low-end mics, I mean low-price mics that we could probably invest early so we could advance and go up there. So just thanks to all you guys, and yeah, I hope you guys are blessed for here today. And back over to Dario.
Yeah, we're gonna get Kenny to do a podcast also where he's gonna break down technological gizmos so that we will know exactly, teach you guys certain things about, products to invest money in and all that. So we're working on that. That'll be coming something soon. Don't know it. So let's get into it then. So I was saying that I was just like going. It was obviously I was saying to myself that didn't really plan to do a video today, but I was just thinking about like social media and like some of the things that bother me and how it has really affected our lives. And I won't do it like in this essay format where it's like, oh well, social media is this and that. I'll just talk about my experiences with it. Hopefully you will be able to see some of my challenges here that I have with it and how it is now. So yeah, I'll just start off. So I remember when I first got exposed to any form of social media was back in 2005, and I had just moved to where I'm living now, And I didn't really know anything about social media or anything. I mean, for me growing up, the main thing I used to do was spend a lot of time playing cricket. And that was basically it for me. It wasn't really anything else that I cared about. It was just cricket and just going to school. And when I got to secondary school, or what you guys call it, high school, for those that live outside of the Caribbean, that is, high school, I got exposed to social media where I had my first, what was it I had? I got my first computer. I don't know if you guys know a Dell 2400, but a massive computer. Just takes up half of the table. And it wasn't that quick either. Very, very slow. So I got that computer, and that was my first exposure to social media, in that I got Hi-Fi. For those of you who were born after 2008 or whatever the case may be. But Hi-Fi was a form of social media. And, you know, we had Hi-Fi, and I think it still exists, I'm not sure, but we had Hi-Fi. And then it was MSN Messenger and that thing. And I remember as a kid, I used to come home on evenings, like, because a lot of my friends had MSN, then I used to come home on evenings and just, like, run to just get home and talk on MSN, you know, like, just talk to people about things that seemed important, but really at the end of the day wasn't important. And I met so many different people through MSN, it was absolutely amazing. And, like, for 4 hours a day, I probably to spend just sitting down in front MSN Messenger, just messaging people over all kind of things. And back then, it seemed pretty cool to do that, you know, because I don't think a lot of people really were on the internet then, and it was just a case where you could just go and chill and just talk nonsense with your friends, and people just meet all kind of people from all over Barbados and even outside of Barbados. Actually, it was just kind of cool. I didn't really take anything of it, you know, because we're young and, you know, it wasn't really a big deal, so we just went along with it. But I felt after years went on where that was concerned, now it became more of like, it became more of people's lives. Like, I found myself like slowly investing more time in it and just spending like a lot more hours in front of the computer, just sitting down talking and saying foolishness. But along the way, also it caused disconnect, because like some of my earlier relationships that I had were girls I just met online. It wasn't a boy that got near me, you know. So it was like meet these girls online, and then like when me and the persons go and actually meet, sit down and have a face-to-face conversation. They were horrible. I mean, like extremely terrible. Like you talk to this person and there's no what's the word now? There's no social, there's no vibe. You know, it's just so awkward. It's like hi, you know, it's just awkward. I began to realize it was more so because you have these amazing conversations with whoever the given person was at that time online, laugh and talk so much nonsense, and then when it all said and done, you can't hold a conversation in person because your life basically is behind a screen. And that becomes very, very, very strange. Like, your life doesn't involve meeting people, it involves you actually going out there. And I mean, it doesn't involve meeting people face to face, it involves you sitting down behind a computer screen and then talking to people. And you know, as years went on, there became more technology and more social media sites for people to actually invest in. Then you got Facebook. And Facebook was a very, very hot thing when it first came out. Everybody wanted a Facebook account, and basically everybody wanted to be on there. And I don't remember what Facebook really to offer back then, but it wasn't all this stuff we see now. It's pretty simple place. You just go, I guess, and just like people profiles or everything. I can't remember what it was back then, but everybody had a Facebook account, and you know, there was Tag at some point along the line too. So you know, you had all these social media things, and like going through the years, I've seen society take a more of a turn towards that. Like everyone now invests all their time on social media. I mean, it's amazing how much time you see people spend in front of a computer screen, just doing things that really doesn't add anything to their life, you know. And people overlook these things and go, you know, it's just technology, just having fun. But it creates problems, you know, and it causes a lot of disconnect when you actually go out there and you try to interact with people. You know, it gives you all this illusion that you are actually connected with a lot of people, when in actuality you're not. I mean, I remember back in the day, when I had MSN Messenger, I had like 300, I think it was like 300 friends or something like that. And out of those 300 people, I probably only used to talk to like 10 of those people on a consistent basis. And it's like you have all these contacts and you don't know these people, you know. There's a bunch of, but you, I mean, you know them in terms of, yeah, you could see them, yeah, I know so and so, but you don't personally know the people. And because there's just such a disconnect there with all this technology and social media adding this and that, creating an idea that people are actually together. When you and whoever in question, you're not already together because nothing beats a face-to-face conversation. You know, social media tries to take for all that, and it slowly becomes like this whole control center for your life, where you actually, you know, I think the best way to describe it is like it creates inauthenticity among people because people now are not being themselves. Because if I have a conversation like in person with Kenny, for instance, then you know I say something that isn't, but he asks me a question, or say make a comment about, I don't know, say they know what global warming was, and he said, yeah, you know, global warming really, the earth being really causing our problems in the earth now, you know. And I don't know what global warming is, but in person now I have to find a way to get on that conversation, or just admit, well, you know, I just don't know what you're talking about, I don't know what's global warming. I may call a disconnect, or he might be like, what, you don't know what's global warming? Everybody knows about that. But if I hit internet now, and he says the same thing now, I don't have to answer back, I run quick to Google and type in, oh, global warming. Yeah, you know, global warming is this and that, you know, trying to sound like you know certain things, but it creates an inauthentic self because then people hide and pretend that they know things that they really don't, and it creates a whole disconnect there. And I think I get to a point in my life where it's like, I go on social media just to provide the bare basics. Like, since I do this podcast, I'm trying to do more advertising out there and what the case may be. But aside from that, I find myself not really wanting to go on social media as much these days because it just feels like it has taken, just looking back at my life, it took so much time and investment into these things that really at the end of the day, it doesn't really yield much, you know. You sit up front for 10 hours, it doesn't equal anything, it doesn't make you any money unless you have an online business. It doesn't really produce much for you, you just have the same basic, you know, basic things that you do every single day. I may see people on Facebook, for instance, spending hours recording video of me, just liking pictures of the case maybe. And it's like, what's the outcome? It doesn't really mean anything, you know. As opposed to going up there and maybe taking up a skill or doing something with your hands or the case maybe that actually will make you happy at the end of the day. You know, because these things are making people happy, but it's like it's a drum where people consistently keep going back for more. You go on there, you see a bunch of foolishness that has no relevance to your life. You like, and then you comment on a few things, you laugh, you argue with somebody over something that makes no sense. And then at the end of the day, that's it. You know that doesn't fulfill your life, but yet you're still going back at the end of the day and doing the same thing. I mean, I'm not going to tell somebody they need to abandon Facebook or abandon Twitter or Instagram or Twitch or Twitch or whatever else they have, Kik and that kind of thing. And all the time people they need to abandon those things and never go on them. But ask yourself a question: how much time are you actually investing in these things, and the effect that has on your social life? I remember watching a movie last year. I cannot remember the movie's name. I think it was Boys and Girls or Boys, Girls, Women, and Adults or something. I can't remember. But it was talking about the whole social media thing, and it was like showing how people were so divided. Like they spend time consistently on their cell phones in front of the dinner table, and there was no socializing, or everything was through tweets. And people that live like just sometimes they'll be like one person be in their bedroom and the other person in their room, and they're messaging one another instead of actually going over and talk to the person. I mean, these are things that are affecting us as society, and people just overlook them and say, oh, you know, he just miserable, he just angry and this and that. No, really ask yourself, how is it that this is helping you as a person? How is it helping you spending all that time with a phone up to your face, or, you know, being on some website and so on? How is that helping you as an individual develop? and I believe it's causing a lot of hindrances with families and friendships and just a life on the whole, is concerned because everything involves the phone, everything involves some social media website or WhatsApp it's crazy. It just hits over people's minds and totally influence their behaviors. And then you find people can't have a proper conversation. I can't tell you how many people I probably tried carrying on conversations with, and it's like they don't know what to say. They don't know how to actually talk, or whatever the case may be. So it's like, why do you have this thing at the end of the day where you actually talk on this website and you just go through this process where you spend so much time on these things that you can't actually talk to people when it's all said and done. I think there's a massive disconnect there where people are concerned. So there's so much more to say about this, but I'll leave it as that. My caution to people is to spend more time with people that you appreciate, and stop spending so much time investing in social media. And this will go into so many other issues because it could go off talking about the companies that produce these things to help people. But I'm still trying to keep this video on a certain time frame, so I'll leave it as that. And you guys can comment and let me know what you have to say. Pass it off to Ken. Ken will share what he has to say on it.
Well, yeah, you covered a lot, and all you said is really true. My personal experience being that, like me, I'm known to be a shy person, probably still known to be a shy person to most people. But like back at school, as Dari was saying, I think Dari was like two years ahead of me, probably a year or two. But anyway, the point is that around the same, whatever he said, 2 years I was a little after him. So it's like people forget MSN and stuff, and trust me, I could carry on a whole conversation on MSN with a person, and when I got to school and I still to see that person, I was solely quiet. Hey, you good? And that's it. You got class today. What you got class? You go in class. How you getting home? And probably that's the whole conversation for the whole day. And when I got home, it's like a world of conversation going on. So it's like we hiding behind this false sense that we having a lot of friends by having over 1,000 friends on Facebook or whatever the case is. I've been thinking that we actually having a lot of people in our lives, but really and truly, if something happens to that person, you can't message any other people to say, well, come visit me in the hospital because I got an accident, or the case, because most of the time those people are just they're not connected to you on that actually a friends level. They're mostly like acquaintances. So it's like, yeah, the person, hi, how are you, probably carry on a random conversation, but they're not actually a personal friend to you. So that's also a very big deal, and where how social media is getting right now, like with Facebook and stuff. The whole scene, the WhatsApp with the blue ticks, the Facebook with the scene. Is becoming a survey where before, as I was saying, you probably know something. You could easily go Google and say, well, I don't know what this is. Let me Google it quick so I get this personal reply, or what the case may be. And in person, if you think about it, that's what it should be. If you see, think about seeing as a person hearing you talk in real life. So I'm with Dara, and I mentioned to Dara, and Dara is processing this. What I just said, he's not going to reply instantly, especially if I ask him something. I want his true thought on it. When you see scene, that is Dara hearing my message. And he's not gonna reply instantly because the social media says he's supposed to reply instantly. It's because he's giving himself time to think about what I just said, so he could give me a friend worthy response. But social media has it that it's supposed to be spot on right away. You see scene, 2 minutes gone by, a person reply, you get vexed and say, man, the person talking to me, the person busy, and you play the person again, hey, you busy? The person just probably processing your message, have got other things to do. Think about if you had to spend a day by a person, like across by there for a day, and we're chilling. We're not going to talk for the whole however hours we're there, or the case may be. We're probably going to be some time, probably going to be playing games, something, but we're not going to be speaking about the friends. So in the case where a person signed up for a little while, maybe that's needed for a friendship, maybe needed for the conversation to build on something, so you can think about something else. We're not like a responsive heavy person where everything the person says must have a response and stuff like that. So it kills friendships and and it makes you feel like if you're actually doing something but you're actually not. You're just actually feeling this sense of people around you, but really and truly you're just surrounded by no one really. So I mean, social media has really changed. I mean, as you get older, you begin to look at social media differently and begin to use it differently. Like before, Nader was saying that back in those days, probably strictly for messaging. You get older, and then you probably look at it as a way to keep in touch with old friends. As you get older, you probably look at it for as a business means, and as most people are doing right now. So I mean, there's good and bad aspects of social media. So there's a part where you could say, well, I could go and post something about something I'm selling. I could go and post a business opportunity on my friends that they could join in on it, which a lot of people are doing. And also companies posting like advertising employment on social medias. It's also a very good tactic. They're saving a lot of money from posting ads in newspaper or elsewhere on TV. That they have open positions, which is a very good way to also save money. It's economical, but the reason that we sometimes people use social media is that they want to feel that sense of belonging, and it's just not there. So we have to open our eyes and realize that there's more to a face-to-face conversation, as Dar was mentioning, than a actual electronic conversation. It's not the same. It's not the same feeling. I mean, even like I could give a recent example. I met a girl in the bus terminal coming home at night time, and like that's the bus part, whatever you guys call it. Well, I was just getting the bus to go home, and I met a girl with the case me because it was waiting for the 10 o'clock bus, and there was no 10 o'clock bus, so basically we had to wait for the 11 o'clock bus. So we was in the terminal for 2 hours. So while we were there, this girl just turned to me. We started talking. We have a very good conversation. We were like hinting at certain things. You could see like in psychology, you could see the facial expressions. You could see the person telling you, well, hey, this person doesn't react too good when I say this. If I curse, the person doesn't like it. You could easily pick up stuff about the person from that face-to-face conversation. But if the person doesn't put smileys behind their conversation on Facebook or Messenger or anything like that, you're taking the person serious. Like sometimes we get lazy when we texting. I mean, we texting for years and we don't put question marks sometimes, and that person's like, well, is this person asking a question or is this person serious? So with this girl, I mean, I had a great conversation with the girl the first time. I didn't exchange numbers for other reasons. I just had a good conversation. That was it. So I saw her again on the van. We had another great conversation and we exchanged numbers again. At that point in time, so that was the second time I saw her. And we exchanged numbers. So at that point, I was like, yo, this girl probably cool. So then when I started messaging her on WhatsApp, I was like, well, conversation felt so. I mean, the first day it was great. I mean, we talked about so much stuff and everything. But then after the second day when I messaged her, it was like, well, this ain't really clicking. Like how I clicked with her when I met in person. So I was like, you know what, I ain't really feeling this. So she lives somewhere nearby. I was going to get some food from a local restaurant. So I was like, okay, well, let me go and tell her I'm going to be there so time she can meet me. So we went and we had another good conversation. So it seems like more in person we had great conversations, but on social media it was just like a sense of like just saying okay, I understand this and that. I mean, it was just like these kind of short-winded answers that didn't really seem to mean much. So I mean, in that sense, I prefer, like, I don't really message her on WhatsApp. No, just like I just prefer to see you and then talk to you in person, and that's it for me. But if that's not the case, then I don't really want to have a conversation unless I haven't heard you in a while. We could probably have a good conversation because the absence or the case may be, make you want to make up for that time you missed, or the case may be. But in the case of social media, I find that it just comes. Now you've seen that you're actually having a good conversation, but sometimes you just don't really build up fulfillment. You're not seeing the person's gestures. You're not I mean, like, if you're even flirting with a girl or anything, so you can't see if you're blushing, if you're saying the right things. I mean, for all she could just be like, have her a plain straight face on her face, and you're just taking the she's actually accepting what I'm saying. My flirt is where she's just like, why this boy don't stop texting me, or the case may be. So in person it's just always better. I mean, a close friend of mine always says that it's just always better. So I mean, I think that it's always better to just be in person with someone, see the reaction, see what they're saying about stuff, and that's just my little rant about that. So back over to Dara.
Man, you covered so much things, and that is absolutely amazing. It's so very true. All of what you're saying, honestly, like, if you are in the hospital And now I was thinking to myself, not necessarily me being in the hospital, but if I go through a bad situation and going through my WhatsApp or my Facebook or whatever it is I have, and it's like, how much of these people can I call on the fly? Like, say I had a bad day, how much of these people can I actually message and they will give me a response to suggest that they actually are want to be there for me? I mean, at the end of the day, it comes down to this fact that, oh, okay, alright, can't to be stepping away for a minute, right? I mean, at the end of the day, it comes down to this fact that that you have a lot of people who are on your device, but you can't talk to those people at the end of the day and really like pour your problems out to them, because they're probably going to give you some response where it's like, oh yeah, sorry to hear you going through this and that, but there's really they really can't be there for you. I mean, they may offer something that seems encouraging to you, but at the end of the day, they're not really your friend, because there's a particular way a stranger will talk to you, or acquaintance, as we call them, and there's a way a friend will talk to you. A friend knows more what you're going through, and they're able to turn around and help you at the end of the day to see things a particular way that acquaintance will just be able to say, well, just get over that, I hope things better for you, or the case may be. But they can't actually join in and help you. And look, at the end of the day, if you want to have 300 people on your phone, as this guy, and you guys probably know him, or maybe you don't, Bruce Blitz, but he would always say more power to you. If you want to have 300 people on your phone that you don't know, more power to you. And if you know all 300, that's great. I don't think you personally know all 300, but hey, if you say that you do, then that's what I'll have to work with, right? But honestly, I don't think anything beats face-to-face interaction. And I think at the end of the day, is like, some people just can't carry on conversations on the phone, And in my opinion, I think a phone is just there to let people still exist, but if a friendship really means a lot to you, or if it's the case that your relationship, your family, or your girlfriend, or whatever the case may be, or boyfriend, means a lot to you, then at the end of the day, that's something that you have to consistently focus on being there in person's life, not just telling them, I hope you have a good day, but actually showing up and being there to support them. Sometimes it's obviously not always possible because of where you live or where the case may be, and your own life you have going on, but you try for the most part to be there for people. And sometimes, it doesn't even seem sense sometimes adding people to your device and conversating with them. That could just have the number or whatever the case may be, so that you can actually stay in contact with them, whatever the case may be. But look, there's so much things that Kenny covered here that I want to go into, but we can just cut it like here for tonight, honestly. So I think we could take this discussion further and probably go into talking about it a little bit more. I don't know what you say about that, Kenny. You think we could continue talking about this in another podcast down the road, or maybe next time?
Yeah, I believe that's actually something that could really happen. I mean, I was almost going into relationships and communication. On a whole different level. Because at the end of the day, we have so much relationships with people, and I really see that it's a very wide topic. In the case where, like, me being in a relationship, or the case me with someone, I could see that using social media has really took some fun per se out of it. Of course, you want to hear the person, you want to be there for the person and stuff. But again, nothing beats being in person with that person, the person that you care about. When I'm together before, I have the world of fun. Or the case, like relationships, like friendships. It's such a wide topic. Even like your family. Sometimes families, as Dara was mentioning shortly, be in the other room, and your brother or sister, sibling, mother or whatever, is in the room away from you, and you texting her, be like, hey mom, can I get some food? It's like, seriously, you could just go and have a nice conversation with your mother or father, or family, some sort of family member, but you choose to message them and say, hey, I want this, do you have my brush, do you have this? And it just taking away so much from that friendship, that relationship with that person, that could go to be beyond just being such a friendship, what the case may be. So we could actually go into much more on this, or the case may be. So anytime you're ready, just let me know, and if you want to cut it here, then that's fine with me too.
Alright, well, I just want to say something very quickly. I don't think it will be another minute. I remember a couple weeks ago, not a couple weeks ago, probably last year, where I just felt so lazy and I had a message, I had to pass on a message to my mother. But I just turned around and messaged her on my phone and she's in her bedroom. No, it isn't a big house, I can even tell you that. It's not a mansion or anything. So my mom would not stop talking about that. She was like, you believe my son is in the next room and he's here messaging me? And when I did, I was like, this is so stupid. You know, you have your mother over there, you could just walk over to say the message for 2 seconds and, you know, you just choose to be lazy and just message us like, that is so dumb. I mean, why do you want to message someone that's inside the same house as you, you know? It doesn't make any sense. That's like the person standing in front of you and you type it down in your phone, hi, and they're responding to you. It's absolutely ridiculous. But I'll leave it there for that. There's so much more we can go into. As Ken said, we will definitely continue this talk next time. But thank you guys once again for listening to us. You can follow me here on obviously YouTube. Here is Dharma24 and Twitter Dharma24 as well. I think. Sorry, DJN Inspired. Sorry, on here Dharma24 on Twitter. And yeah, Dario.Nichols. DJNinspires.wordpress.com is where you can follow me for my blog. And Ken, where do you want people to follow you? Kenneth Frank?
My channel, Think Like Ken, is in progress, I guess. Not as much as my tech channel, but yeah, for a little few rap songs that I have, still have to get back to blogs with my significant other as well. And on Facebook, you could look for me at Kenneth Franklin. I have a page. I post normally like gossip rap. Been a little lazy about that, but since this podcast with my good friend Dario, I might be getting back into that surely but slowly. Is it slowly but surely? But yeah, so yeah, those two places, I'll give Dario links for those, and you can put in the description down below if you guys want to follow me.
Alright, thank you guys for tuning in with us once again for joining us. Thank you so much for your time, and leave your comments in the comment section below. If you like the video, you know, please hit the like button. You know, we greatly appreciate the support. And that's it, guys. Thank you once again, and we are out. We'll see you next time for another session in Mr. Inspired.